Not a huge deal. There's still a lot more movement, though, we could see from Zombs on that Astra, where potentially that Cosmic Divide can play a huge role. Whereas Boy is going to be using his utility effectively for catching rotations and the like, or making rotations, depending on what he decides to do. I'm not going to be too crazed about anything crazy that happens there. What I'm going to be most focused on is the rotation game in the actual rounds, not necessarily linked directly to the utility. But here we go. Got everything ready. Got the agent selected, and we're going to go ahead and start the game.
Vice lining up one of those preset recon darts to try and get some information for his team, and, well, there it goes. Right in the middle of the site. That's actually a shock dart that's sent off instead of a recon dart. So in this particular instance, it helps, yay, break in and get the very first pick. And it's on to Tens, the high-profile player from Sentinels. All it takes is 15 seconds, and the spike has already been planted by ANDBOX. On this pistol round, Sebnet's won for his team too, so it's a 5v3 favoring ANDBOX. The Sentinels will need to retake, and they're going to do so through A-Link. Vice does not give his position away until he needs to engage, and he does so quite well, finishing off the remaining members of the Sentinels. Very valiant effort on what was an extremely quick execute that breaks in ANDBOX's favor.
And those frenzies working out great for ANDBOX, and I love those shock darts that came in to try and dissuade anyone from playing close B contact on Sentinel's side. The retake ultimately just able to be funneled into those links and eliminated one by one. Now ANDBOX getting the lead-off round. They're going to be bringing those Spectres. Ye will keep his economy in check. Obviously, he wants to bring the Operator later, so he's going to try and save up now with just a go.
Oh, there goes one of the recon darts. Answered back as Shazam shoots it immediately. You still gain intel off of that. For those of you that might not be aware, depending on your level, obviously, not every viewer who watches this is playing at the top or competitive level. It's worth noting that if a recon dart is shot right away, you still gain some information from it. A lot of teams are not going to forego defending a bomb site, so you anticipate that somebody's going to be holding A, B, and C all at the same time. Vice and Sick are down, one player apiece, by the way. Zom's missing his shots. That is unfortunate for him. But Shazam has his opponent's numbers, lining up kills on both Sep and Mata before backing up immediately. Firing off an arrow to try and gain some more information. Is he about to get pushed? That is the real question. Spike will need to be retrieved at some point. And Ye sees the Sova, cleans out sewers, but he gets dusted. And the rest of Sentinels get dropped by Boy playing the close angle at the start of A. And down they go. ANDBOX up 2-0.
Wow. Great play there from Ye. You could tell that the Ghost did not disable him and was able to win his one. I gotta say, though, really good economy damage from Sentinels. Like, overall, that puts them in a good position, considering they managed to do so much damage. Only 2 players on ANDBOX persisted. And now, because Ye wants to bring an Operator, it's going to hurt the economy overall for ANDBOX. They're going to be a little bit limited on their decision-making on that. It looks like they're going to go with the Spectre. 2 Spectres, in fact, and a Sheriff. Sentinels, this should be their round, assuming Ye doesn't do too much work with that Operator.
Well, some intel now to try and give this Operator in the hands of Ye some more information, clearing out sewers, as these drones will battle. It's been a while since BattleBots has been relevant, but it's always nice to see it as we await the eventual global takeover of the machines, Michael.
Yeah, of course. When we get there, I think we should stick together. We'll survive better that way. But who won't survive is Ye. As he goes down, that's the Operator we talked about now on the floor, and Sentinels are adding it the tally. They've got one more. You can see that ANDBOX are trying to force engage while Sentinels are trying to play passive. That passivity is not going to work out. Hunter's Fury from Shazam will get the re, though. And now it's just Boy and Mata with Spike in hand trying to play for C.
Mata's position spotted as well. What on earth was that hand animation? The Boy looked like he was wiping off the front of his Spectre. It's a little dirty. It's been doing too much work here. Gotta get the blood off of it. It wasn't the game, though, by the way. And no Boy in the game either. No ANDBOX in the round. The Sentinels will clean them out and then also get the spike. Give them some weapons, and they make you pay. Finally, when Sentinels don't have to worry about carrying just pistols, they can take the round.
Great Hunter's Furies there from Shazam, if for nothing else, just to gather information on exactly what he was dealing with. That round for Sentinels, I mean, we talked about it. They were slotted to win as long as the Operator on ANDBOX's side was not put to good use. And, well, guess what? It wasn't. Now, that mostly comes down to the A-long push-up from Sentinels and the ability to just get a one-sided engagement. Now, I don't expect a lot of those to happen for Ye moving forward, but in this round, ANDBOX are going to try and force to save this. With a Sheriff in play, I mean, it's not ideal, but they definitely can regain their momentum if they take this round.
There's some damage that could possibly be done, but oh no, it's a missed flash from Mata as now he absorbs a tiny bit of damage and backs up. ANDBOX look to try to clear out Garage quickly, but they're not going to be able to do just that. Not yet, as what will be an eventual C-take. Vice had some information as well and is going to try to capitalize off of that. Out goes one of those shock darts to try and do some damage if possible. Both of these teams right now, with the exception of the damage that was done earlier to Mata, both of these teams standing quite well in terms of HP.
Just the run it back, but Sick from the window, not stopped by the cage. He'll get 2, and Mata with the run it back will get Shazam, trying to connect from Defender's spawn. There it expires, and Sick is ready for his 3rd. Not his 4th, though, as Boy will shut him down. Now it looks like Sentinels have full control, but Boy is in Garage, and he does have his ult. He will step all the way over to A, nice and quick, and get that plant for the post. He might be able to take this one, considering time is now on his side.
I'm watching that A connector to see what Sentinels can do as it's TenZ in that position. He'll decide to take Heaven instead, and there goes a smoke. So TenZ's position will be, at least for now, somewhat dulled. Zoms will push on his own. Waiting to see if there will be a mark, and TenZ taking up space. Boy is down in hell, but no, Zoms finishes it off as it's a 1-for-1, and they refrag very quickly. Give the Sentinels some guns and they can make some noise, as it's an equal game now at 2 rounds apiece.
Coordination there between TenZ and Ye, or sorry, TenZ and Zoms. What we saw on that Cloudburst as well, the dash, perfect cover. That's what you like to see from a Jet taking out of Heaven on A. It's not an easy thing to do, but it was well coordinated. Zoms with the cleanup as well. Good stuff. Overall, Sentinels definitely made the Garage too much of a grinder, a meat grinder for ANDBOX. And when they were pushing in that, unfortunately, the Cypher cage, for ANDBOX did not cover the entirety of Garage window. So that was a pretty easy cleanup for Sick.
Obviously not wanting to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it is worth noting that these two teams went into the bitter end earlier when they faced each other on Haven back in the quarterfinals. So I am not going to be surprised if this one goes back and forth like a pendulum as each team bounces round over round. Unfortunately for ANDBOX, losing 2 in a row is going to kneecap them when it comes to this economy. That allows Sentinels to take advantage of the fact that they do not have anywhere near much weaponry to deal with whatever comes from the defense.
Ye is going to pop the knives, and he will burst up and over the wall, managing to get 1, but the run it back from Sick will take down Ye. Zoms with great spray control, and he'll get 2, but not 3. Nice Sheriff shot there from Seb. And now, still a man advantage for Sentinel. As you see the Cypher ult go out, you're going to have good information for Boy, who is trying to creep up into B.
And intel is so crucial now as we are in the quieter moments of a round. Sentinels seem to think that this execute is going to come over towards A, especially with the Cypher and Phoenix looking in that direction. But it's been way too long and you haven't heard a single thing. Dapper creeping up. Oh my, oh no.
Oh.
He was immobile. Boy could have capitalized off of this. He still does. It's on to Sick though, as Seb will now be engaged in a 1v2. He's got his cam up. There goes a tracking dart. TenZ bursts upwards, and they'll look to play around the box. Down goes 1. Target prioritization from Seb is perfect. Beautiful clutch from him with the spike down. And despite it being an eco round, ANDBOX comes out ahead.
And just like that, ANDBOX in an excellent position economy-wise. I thought, honestly, I mean, I think most of us thought that Sentinels were going to be able to take that, especially after this 2K at long A. But nope, Seb is just better in those 2v1s, and he wins it out. ANDBOX regaining a lot of their momentum there. Full rifles on their side, whereas Sentinels, they're trying to force 2. They want to get their momentum back, and, I mean, they're all going to be able to buy next round probably, so it shouldn't be too bad here with this purchase, but it's still, you know, not ideal. They do have 1 Vandal on Zoms. That's definitely very nice.
You do what you can with what you got here.
Yep.
Judge in the hands of Sick, by the way. We only got to see the judge on display just once. TenZ, all right. He takes down Seb and Vice before being silenced by Ye. Zoms want to continue to give the Sentinels an advantage that will now grow. Oh no. Oh no. Sick blasts it right to the chest of Mata. Down he goes. Beautiful play from Six. So easy, so routine. On that angle, it's almost unchallengeable unless you pre-fire, and there was no information that somebody was there.
Oh boy, now the last alive, and I don't think he saw this one coming. Great play from Tens using the knives, and Zombs, the only rifle able to influence the round well, is also. Now Sick has pushed up on grass, and he is going to be taken down by Boy. Definitely not the play he was alone, but there should be a refrag shortly. See Zombs on the window, Shazam in mid. There it is. The pre-fire, paranoia doesn't really matter at that point when you know exactly where your target is. So, Sentinels, despite having to force that round, are able to take it. And that's mostly due to this play right here from Tens. It distracted Ye, and that allowed for Zombs to push up on long from short and get that kill, which ultimately silenced presence from ANDBOX, forcing them into a clutch situation. I gotta love when you see aggression like that from Sentinels, and it pays off.
Sick yesterday, I'm not sure how many people watching right now actually got to catch that contest between Immortals, but Sick refused to let Sentinels lose. So that was oh my, that was just a really just absolutely dominating performance from him. Additionally, the matchup against T1 doing the same. Sick's performance on Icebox against Team 1 back in the lower bracket, the very first round of the lower bracket, was particularly crushing, and it broke the hearts of the T1 fans who got knocked out of the tourney because of that.
Now, we're going to see some dark cover come up here shortly, but actually before it does, there's nobody on C, and there's not even information right now for the Sentinels. They have no idea this is happening, and Sick is going to unwittingly walk out from Disbanded Spawn and give a Phantom over to Mata, and another nice shot landed by ANDBOX. This is just looking worse and worse for the Sentinels as these engagements go on.
And they'll have to defend against the hordes as the Sentinels try to retake. Lots of damage done to ANDBOX, but they're not finding any casualties yet on the Sentinels side. Zombs and Shazam have a very, very heady task ahead of them. A pre-fire through the wall could take down Boy. Finally, the first member of ANDBOX is off the board. It's Mata, who had run it back available, but won't use it. Holding on to it, potentially for scouting and damage later on. We'll find out. Back-to-back thrifty rounds, not always something that you see, but ANDBOX are able to capitalize off of that. They take the round because of it.
Now, you talked about how Sick has been the star for Sentinels, and that is true. The star for ANDBOX has been Ye, and there it is. Shots like that are what is solidifying him as one of the key difference makers for ANDBOX. A 4K in the round, and most of that, we gotta be honest, most of that comes down to the fact that Sentinels left C completely unguarded. I'm not sure why Sick was trying to rotate there and he came back. A little bit confusing. That's a freebie. At that point, just set up for a retake, but the problem was they didn't know the execution was going out because Boy held off on using his smokes to cover because it obviously, that's going to give away your intention. So ANDBOX said, free sight, we'll take it, and they did.
Ye spotted and also tagged now as we look towards round 8. And Ye is posted up on green, watching the entrance to B and now cycling over towards garage. But the Sentinels are not giving up a single inch of this map control. There's also, by the way, a judge in the hands of Sick and Tens. They'll be playing at these extremely tight angles. And once they get intel, they can play a bit more aggressively. And Tens will do just that, but there's a curveball right in front of his face. He takes down one. There goes a dash. Oh. But no! Tens huge with 2 kills. It takes Seb to drag him off of his play. Still, the Sentinels come out ahead because of that. In a 4v2 with Seb and Vice, they are together, side by side. They've got the B sight in their eyes, but they've got Sick once again. It's another judge lined up. Jury? Executioner? Do they need more? No, the judge is good enough for Sick to pick up the final 2 kills. And we are tied yet again.
Oh my, Parker. That's 4 judge kills in the round, I believe. Jeez. And, I mean, yeah, it seems like neither of these teams are fully respecting the economy battle that goes on here. Nice awareness from Tens. He tries to dodge a curveball, but even though he was blind, he still manages to win the fight. Yeah, I think that ANDBOX are becoming more aware of these corners and the judge play in those corners. I mean, the curveball is evidence of that, right? But they are also still struggling to win the fights regardless. This is a difficult thing to do. Those shotguns can be very lethal.
Oh, I was hoping that there was the little sound cue there. Beautiful shot, by the way, from Tens now. Falling back and Sentinels are, in many cases, not ceding the control that they have, not giving an inch on most of these rounds to ANDBOX to capitalize off of that. And with how often we see retakes on this map in particular, that is and can be quite a problem. Sentinels have come alive, though, and they've woken up in this round, finding themselves 3 kills and essentially paralyzing the last 2 members of ANDBOX. Now, the Omen can possibly tackle C if he wants, but there's going to be a cam looking his way, and it will be dapper to go on that and call it out. Zoms through sewers takes down Seb, leaving just Boy all on his own. Will he be able to make it back before dying? No, the question answered very quickly in a flawless round from Sentinels.
Shazam, the only one to really use his ult, I believe, through that round, but we've got so many on the board here, especially for ANDBOX. They could probably make a play just off of their ulties, but the biggest problem they're going to be confronted with right now is their economy. As you can see, they are not going to be able to make any serious purchases. So this is a little bit of efficiency loss for ANDBOX. They've got the ultis up. They're ready to take the fights with those, but they are not going to be able to support them with firearms of equal caliber. So that's not going to be great for ANDBOX. But we've seen the economy rounds, the forced rounds, work out really well for both teams so far through the series. So I wouldn't be surprised if Yay lands some crazy sheriff shots here.
Sick takes one down on A. The actual A presence looked to be a little bit weak for the Sentinels at the start, as they chose 2 defenders to stack up over on C, with the Jet and Cypher of both Dapper and Tens holding that off. And of course, that's where Tens is going to want to make his home with that long-range gameplay, whether it be with an Operator or whether it be with the Vandal that he has in hands now. It doesn't matter, because they're going to be called back to the A site, as that's where ANDBOX take charge. They've isolated Heaven and will continue to do that, with Yay just feeding smokes to the window, and Sick will run it back. He gets immediately stopped in his tracks by the other Phoenix, his counterpart in Mata. Spike goes down, so now it's going to be a mad scramble to take control of the site. Whether the attackers can hang on, that'll be the question. Shazam punishing Mata, so the Sentinels have yet to lose a body. Still, they had a flawless round previously. Can they continue? Keep that play up? No, Sick goes down, but Dapper intends at the kill feed, and Yay will be the last member of ANDBOX to fall. The round is over in favor of Sentinels, as they have plenty of time to defuse the spike, and they will take the lead.
So, Yay did land some nice shots there, but it wasn't enough. What is enough, though, for ANDBOX is that they just now managed to burn Cosmic Divide. On top of that, they also did some economy damage to Sentinels, and they got the spike down, which means they are not flush necessarily, pardon me, but ANDBOX are in an okay spot. This is definitely recoverable right now. Now, they do need to be doing a little bit better on Attack a Haven, in my opinion, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world if they don't pick up too many more rounds in this half. There's definitely going to be a momentum shift when we switch over to the second half. Things do tend to change, whether for ill or for better. It depends on the matchup. But right now, ANDBOX faking out for B. That's the same shock dart that they've been throwing towards B when they do execute there, and they're going to be lurking towards C. Do have smokes already placed up there from the Astra of Som, so it's gonna be a slow execute.
Tens opping over towards A. He'll have to get back at some point, and do so potentially in a hurry. But intel and calls will be made now, as it's all C, all in for ANDBOX. And they will wait ever so patiently. Spike gets planted by the way, as they now watch and guard faithfully over top of that spike. Tens has made his way back now, as Sick and Zoms gone for Sentinels. Great play to take control of Garage and continue to push out, but Dapper's going to have to dry peek with limited intel and no real utility at his disposal. Tens' ultimate is up, pops up, feeds a bunch of knives into Mata, finds another onto Yay. Beautiful shot from him. You come to know that those things become so routine when he's involved in those plays. Another round for Sentinels as they stretch their lead to 3 rounds.
Doesn't really get crisper than that shot with the knives from Tens. Beautiful stuff. I'm glad we get to see it again right here. I think it's the only real serious replay from that one. Look at that. I mean, not even a reaction at that point, a prediction. Beautiful stuff. Now, Sentinels 7-4. They're starting to rack up the lead, and they're looking incredible while doing it. I love the lurk attempt there, or the lurk push attempt there from ANDBOX. Good cover on the C main lane so that they could push up. It was actually Omen using his smokes, not the Astra, pardon me from that. And the lurk at mid from Seb almost managed to work out, but when he failed a Garage, that really did hurt the structure of ANDBOX's execution.
I appreciate you apologizing, by the way, Michael, but we will say things from time to time that may not be technically correct. Like in the previous round, where I said that they took the lead, but what I meant to say was they took the round and stretched their lead, but sometimes words are very difficult. As can be 6 positioning over on C Long, where Ye will continue to take up home, but he gets destroyed by Dapper, as both teams now lose one, but not too much. C is still quite well held by the Sentinels. Dapper will slowly make his way back to the action while he's got the camera up at any moment that he can go on and take a look to see if somebody is pushing from that particular direction.
Great angle fake out there from Mata to bait the operator shot, and he'll fall back after that, as will Tens. The pressure is still going to be on A, though, and here come the smokes to give that away.
An ult being popped out now and trying to use it for intel. Both members of the Sentinels, both Tens and Shazam, getting 1 kill apiece. They've cleaned out the site and effectively thwarted ANDBOX's opportunity to make any form of play onto it. That's them hanging on to the site, and the final kill goes in favor of Shazam. The sides will switch, and it's the Sentinels with a sizable leg up. The first half scoreline is 8-4 in favor of the defenders.
Yeah, that's not great for Haven. Not a fantastic half, I mean, for ANDBOX. They definitely need to step things up as they switch onto defense, but I don't know if they're going to have a great opportunity to do that. Sentinels have been looking pretty solid here. A lot of highlightable kills, like this one especially, for Tens. And yeah, Sentinels, if they manage to take this pistol round, I'd be really worried if I were ANDBOX. One thing that's really curious is the way that ANDBOX is committing to their pushes when they were on the attacking half. They are giving away the information that the push is happening and then still full committing. And Sentinels is not falling for it, not rotating too much, and they're playing their positioning really well.
The question for me is, what has Sentinels done differently than in their matchup against ANDBOX? Because that was the one that went into overtime, exceptionally close, and both teams obviously showing off some of their smarts and how well they were able to play it. The Astra obviously is a big difference here in the way that she's able to control certain parts of the maps and the sites in particular. Now, unfortunately, the pistol round for Sentinels fans, not really going in their favor. Unless Zombs can pull off a miracle at the moment, which seems exceedingly unlikely. He's stranded inside of the C site, getting perpetually harassed, not just by a recon bolt, but also by the drone that hovered over top of him. Another recon bolt goes out, so Zombs is not going anywhere without ANDBOX knowing about it. And it's Yay coming up from C to get that final kill. And the pistols from ANDBOX have secured them not just this round, but also given them a big advantage over this round of round 14 and potentially even round 15 too.
That lineup there for Seb could not have been more perfect, and it's thanks to Boy baiting out in the harder corner, deep in or close contact by C from ramp. So I guess, yeah, Sentinels didn't expect 2 people to be playing close left side outside garage, but that's exactly what was happening. And yeah, you're going to get some good engagements there when you double up like that. So well played to Seb. It's mid pressure for Sentinels. They bring Sheriffs, Frenzies, they try to bring themselves back into this half. Oh, they're given free control, and Zombs is going to lay down the smokes, allowing for a plant. This could be good.
No problem at all for Sick to be able to get it down. That's some money for them. Tens loses his life on the duel with Ye. It wasn't much of a duel, though. Ye shoots him from the back and is now waiting for the smoke to clear in front of him, giving him some vision towards this B site. Ye will creep up ever so slightly. His team not too far off, dashing into the back of the site now as the Sentinels have forfeited control, but there goes the hot hands thrown onto the spike to do some damage. It pushes ANDBOX off, and instead of falling back, no, they take matters into their own hands, and they absolutely close the door on a potential post plant for the Sentinels. Not only getting the spike, but also doing so flawlessly, and the first 2 rounds of their defense breaking in ANDBOX's favor.
That's rough to see, Parker. What we saw there from Sentinels was they set up for the post plant, but they set up a little too heavily for the post plant. With Tens getting too aggressive, on C-Link, he gave himself away, and he made it so the manpower for Sentinels was too low to play aggressive in B to potentially whittle down the manpower of ANDBOX as they attempted to retake the site. When ANDBOX was given the site for free, because of that early casualty on Sentinel's side, they were like, okay, yeah, we'll stack up for the mid take, because we know that's how Sentinels are playing it. So Man advantage, rifle advantage, everything advantage. Well, Spectre advantage, I suppose. Everything advantage, really. And it's an easy retake in through mid.
We've seen this play before with a target sitting on top of the boxes playing in a Cypher cage. You get some nice intel on their ankles and whatever footwear they might be bringing to the fight. In this case, the fancy footwork is coming out from the Sentinels as they clean out the defenders that are playing on C, and now forcing the last two to retake as Ye and Mata burst in. Ye is good enough for 1 kill, but they'll need some more from Mata, who does just that. And what could have potentially been the first round for Sentinels to mount a comeback on this half goes to ANDBOX, who are perfect through the 3 rounds that they've been defending.
Yeah, and what's really bad there for ANDBOX is it's also a bonus round. They brought primarily Spectres, and it worked out pretty well for them. So ANDBOX is in a good position now in terms of economy. They can start to glide, whereas Sentinels, you can see them bringing those Sheriffs, trying to make some difference in these rounds. Are they gonna bring a Bucky? They're gonna be a double Bucky. I mean, well, okay, now hang on. Let's see what they decide on. I get it on 10 since he's gonna be playing on Jet. He could definitely make some aggressive plays happen. We'll see what actually goes on in this round. It's gonna be a short shove here from Sentinels following the Owl Drone.
And there you go, the Bucky working out for 10s. He gets 1, but then traded out right away. Sick a kill of his own before his run it back is all but over. Sentinels holding on to this A site for now. They've got intel too. Dapper playing down in hell as the smoke above him dissipates. Shazam rotating over to sewers, watching in front to see if someone will push in that direction. It appeared that there was a cam up, but not entirely certain which one it was. Which Cypher held on to that information. Sick will jiggle peek around the corner, trying to do something with the cage in front of him, as there's a dart loaded and ready for Shazam. Sick, though, a dry peek onto Ye, who tries to retreat but won't be able to get away. He doesn't not just take damage, he loses with his life. Seb playing from above in heaven is in a tough spot, scouting as best as he can. This is the best round from Sentinels so far, and it will continue to get better as Sick picks up his 3rd kill. Boy will have no problem with Shazam, who pushes just a little bit too much, but the spike will end up hitting its end point, and off it goes. Off it goes. It's a thrifty round, and it's the first victory for the Sentinels on their attack.
That Bucky entry there from 10s was perfect, and the follow-up from the run it back from 6, that's just as good as it can get, really. So Sentinels definitely, yeah, an economy round there, force, but at the same time, it was a well-calculated one for Sentinels, and they clearly had the strat lined up and ready. Love to see stuff like that. Now we're seeing full rifles for both teams. One operator being played by Ye. He's going to be playing it in B solo.
Through window, rather, you'll see Shazam go out as it's the Jetta 10s watching garage door. There's an Astra star there at any point that can get detonated if they need it. C control, by the way, exceptionally light right now for ANDBOX. All they've got is a Cypher on it, but there's no utility down, at least not at the moment. I don't know where Seb has placed it or put it, but it certainly isn't being shown. Meanwhile, the Sentinels know that they want to go for A, or at least that's what it appears, though the spike is still down, and Sick will creep up through sewers, try to flush out somebody playing close through the doorway. Nobody takes the bait, and there's no damage done. Nobody pushes, so he backs off. Sentinels have thought better of this potential A take, and now they move towards C.
Like this rotation, there's only Seb in a position to catch it right now. Boy is playing by Garage, so he'll be close contact rotation, but there's still 3 players on the A side for ANDBOX. This is going to give it away, though, and you'll see the rotation start as the action starts.
And ANDBOX knows that this is coming, but the problem for them is they don't really have much to do with it just yet. They're going to need to wait for the spike to go down and then play around it. As Shazam has it in his hand, he hits the halfway mark, and it will be successful. ANDBOX, the deep flank, they're going to go through C. Zoms is there. Can he line up even one? No. Boy wins the fight, and continuously these rifles from ANDBOX are hitting their shots, but they're Sick with 2, and Shazam as well, leaving Sick and Shazam in a 2v2 against Boy and Ye. But Ye standing on these boxes, operator in hand, waiting to punish if anybody bothers to go after that diffuser. There's some intel and also some potential damage being done as it's being timed onto the spike. A paranoia hits him. Information? No. Boy on the defuse of the spike. Nice shot from Ye. He'll need to get another as that's the spike diffuser killed. Time running out at this point as Ye staring intently. Will Shazam peek him? No. The Sentinels have got it in the bag. Ye retreating, and it's a 10th round for Sentinels.
Masterfully played from Sentinels. That post plant was perfect. The Hunter's Theory well paced. Maybe a tad early, but he had to go for it because of the smoke the dark shroud that was dark cover, pardon me, that was covering the line of sight for the attackers in the post plant. He had to do something, and it worked out well. Once they knew that Ye was on the operator, and there was no real opportunity to peek there, well, Shazam didn't. He just chilled, and that's exactly what he needed to do. Well done. Now Sentinels find themselves up 10-7. Their attacks have been pretty good in the later quarter of this half. They could still do better, I'm sure. This round, ANDBOX are going to have to be a little bit scrappy. They find themselves with primarily sheriffs.
They have good utility, though. That's the key part here, is even though they might not be the arm to the teeth, they're still able to slow down Sentinels using those abilities that are at their disposal. They seem to think that this is going to be another A take. Sentinels had forced out defenders as best as they could over towards A, and utility will help, but rifles help a little bit more. Sick is just going to continue to move the gun farther down to get to his teammate as he just walks his way back. Ye had suffered some damage earlier on. It's now his turn to get in on the fun, and he's got information from the members of Sentinels who are running away. Ye is on the hunt. He can catch Shazam, and he'll do just that. A missed opportunity, but he goes unpunished for it. And back he will go towards window, waiting and watching the attacker spawn, and now looking over towards green. This puts Mata in the crosshairs as, there you have it, Tens bursts in, gets a kill, but is removed, and very easily, the Sentinels clean up the last members of ANDBOX who try to come to their teammates' rescue, and will get their 11th round.
One more for match point from Sentinels. Their aggression on A side was read by ANDBOX. I love that triple peek with the sheriffs. It's a shame it didn't work out for ANDBOX, because that could have definitely netted a better result. They got one kill off of it. It's something. Better than nothing, yay. But I'm sure they were expecting more. Now, with ANDBOX still being down, they are finally going to be able to bring the rifles and bring us a actual defense. It's a triple stack on long, which seems to be the right call, because Sentinels is pushing it out.
Tens has been spotted, by the way, curveball, but he's blind as a bat. ANDBOX winning off of essentially a force buy at this point, but Zoms is trying to at least make them hurt. Not just 2 players down, but also some utility as well gone. Zoms challenging the Sova, but can't really do too much. It's Vice who comes out ahead of that one, and ANDBOX gambled, and the gamble comes out in their favor.
I love that play there from ANDBOX. The triple stack on A long specifically was the right call. They did it on A short last round. Now with actual rifles, they'll do it on A long. It's nice to see. And Sentinels played right into ANDBOX's hands. You know, Tens really unfortunately got hit with the cloud as he was trying to push up, got hit with the curveball, and because of that, he wasn't able to actually use his utility as he wanted. So that's a pretty hard counter. The follow-up from Sentinels was too far back because Tens had already used his Tailwind to entry there. So a little bit disconnected from his team, and you see that happen from time to time with Jets, but it is still unfortunate when it does happen.
Plenty of money for ANDBOX on this one. The Sentinels still having some cash in reserve, so not all hope was lost as they can go with yet another full buy for their team. They'll lose some of the protection on the doorway to garage and wait, peeling back but for a moment. Sick taking a bit of damage from Ye inside of the B site. And now Ye is wanting to contest as much as is humanly possible, either buying time for his team and playing to die at this point. Vice all the way back from A. He's going to continue to try to give information using his ultimate. And now Boy finds the kill onto Dapper. All of this being done by ANDBOX to try and funnel Sentinels out of this B site. Sick, meanwhile, finds his team's very first kill in this round.
Ye gave up control of B way too early, allowing for that push into B, and because of that frag, Sentinels will call the rotate really early off of it. ANDBOX are still confused. They don't know where this is happening right now, and it looks like they finally figured it out, but there it is. It's going to be the Astral Divide, so now, or Cosmic Divide, pardon me, from Astra. So now that we see that in, we are going to have a difficult retake for ANDBOX.
Needless to say, you can't hear or see on the other side of it. So with the spike being planted, Ye might not be aware of that. He's just going to wait patiently. This thing is up for an eternity. The 3 final members of ANDBOX surge in together, trying to trade left and right, and for Boy, it's working out, finding 4. Shazam, last one, up on behalf of the Sentinels, and no, it's Ye to steal the ace away. A pivotal round for ANDBOX, as Sentinels could have moved on to map point, but it's ANDBOX to deny.
Parker, honestly, As soon as I saw the Cosmic Divide come out, I thought to myself, oh, this is over. Sentinels get round number 12 or a match point. Things move on. That's really surprising. A big part of that comes down to the fact that Sentinels did not play directly off of the Cosmic Divide. They played way far back, allowing for entry from ANDBOX together as a team. And they did a great job of that, by the way. Coming in through that Cosmic Divide at the same time and refragging the limited kills that Sentinels were able to get. Also, obviously, you have to give credit to Boy. Big 4K in that round.
Sometimes kills tell the story more than abilities do. Sometimes you can have all the map control in the world, you can have all the abilities in the world, but it doesn't really matter if you can't hit your shots. And I know that it can be lazy to distill it down to that, but that's the way that some rounds break. Still, Sentinels have an advantage here. The problem is that their economy's not in the best of shape right now. It's a regional downturn, if we want to call it that. Boy's about to get flashed. He looks the other way as a cage protects him, and Mata comes for support as well. Boy capitalizing off of that with Seb at his side. The teams trade back and forth. Ye, in the midst of the smoke, expends the last of his utility. He's being chased down by Tens as it's a jet battle, with Tens going back into the site, trading out the Judge for this Phantom. Waiting and watching. Ye's got the operator in hand, in a post plant, favoring the Sentinels right now. This could be potentially tricky. He and Vice are going to have to come through the same area, and it's being watched very intently by Sentinels, and that's map point in their favor, as neither member of ANDBOX are able to line up their shots.
Match point.
Love the devil entry there from Garage, as well as the aggression from Tens with the Judge, using his Cloud Burst to great effect. The non-stop aggression is what's catching ANDBOX off guard, because they're leaving people in positions to retake. Obviously, ANDBOX, because they're a good team, they're going to wait for their whole team to be lined up, ready for the, retake together. But Sentinels isn't resting when they get site control. They're taking it a step further, getting aggro on the positions they know might be weak at the time, and picking up the necessary frags to gain a decided advantage. And that last round, I mean, it was over before we even saw that three-way crossfire, which, by the way, was also pretty well played by Sentinels.
Oh, with the map on the line for ANDBOX, it looks to be Ye to take a fight as best as he can, and he's going to just chunk away at the HP of Dapper.
Whoa.
And Mata, in particular, is able to be the beneficiary of that with 2 big kills, opening things up for the possibility that this one will continue to go deeper and deeper. Overtime was required last time. It doesn't necessarily look like that's the case, especially if the Sentinels can pick up 1 or 2 here. Mata's rewarded with his 3rd kill by an early grave. Dug by 6. Shazam next to him, as there's still a minute left in this round. Shazam will have to 1v3 clutch. Not likely. And is way towards B, stopped by a smoke. He'll have to be quick and quiet about this one. Spike has been surrendered as well. So for Shazam, this round is not especially crucial. But if he can manage to get a pick or 2 and still die, it still could be massive worth for his team.
Slowly lurking towards C-Link, but he doesn't look at Seb, who comes at him from Garage. Nice play there from ANDBOX, and they will take the round. 2 away from evening things out, and now their economy looking really flush. On the other side, we do have Sentinels able to buy in partially, not fully. Now, I will say, you got to be afraid of Tens with the Judge. He's been putting that weapon to good use so far through this half, and I'm sure he'll continue to do so. For Sentinels, they didn't get a chance to go for an execution because of ANDBOX's aggression. Mata's pressure in grass cannot be understated. His ability to get mid-control was so massive through that round.
So the Sentinels will try to be quick about this one. Take an A. They have their sights on it, and they've got the spike as well. Not juggled, not left by B. No, it's in their hands. 6 spotted, he comes up, but it's a run it back. It was a distraction for Tens, who gets cut down by Ye. He's been hitting his shots in the first half, and especially so in this second. Advantage in favor of ANDBOX in that early burst of action.
Here comes the Hunter's Fury, and it's going to be put to good use there, forcing repositions on ANDBOX's side. Zombs will get the entry from short, and this is starting to look better and better for Sentinels as things go on. Seb and Boy, the last 2 on defense, they're both coming from defender's side, and Seb will get the entry in hell. Boy landing his shots as per usual to short. Now it's just Shazam, and he gets aggressive on Seb and Boy, who are trying to play this passive. Here comes the smoke. Shazam now knows where Boy is. Easy frag there. Doesn't expect Seb to be rotating towards heaven, though. And that's exactly what's happening. Seb does have his ult. Can pop it if the opportunity arises, given the right course.
30 seconds left.
Shazam, though, HP advantage. Only 30 seconds, so rotation is a hard call for him. He's going to try and stick it out. You see the recon dart to gather information from the defender's side. Spike planted now. Post plant gets aggressive, and it works! What a read! Down goes Seb, trying to retake as the spike goes down, and that's all she wrote.
Man, it's just, it really does come down to